Hey everyone, Pupsker here, and today in the First Descendant, we're gonna go over every character, every Descendant, and do a little tier list talk about them. So, let's get it over with, I guess, and talk about all the characters. In the previous beta, I got to play all the characters way more. I just will not bother playing them in this beta because it's only 2 days long, and that'll take too much time. The characters that'll be in the game on launch will be all of these characters, right? Nice, nice. You have Viessa, you have Ajax, you have Bunny, you have Lepic, Ultimate Lepic, which is pretty much Prime Lepic if you want Warframe terms. You have Jaber, Fria, Glay, Ultimate Viessa, Sharon, Blair, Valby, and Kyle. I know, can't wait for Chad to be added into the game. It's gonna be sweet. But those are all of the characters right now that we know of releasing on launch on or in the First Descendant. Let's start off with Viessa. Viessa is like Frost. She is this game's ice mage. Think of her, right? You have the passive skill for ice spheres, decrease speed, right? It does ice stuff, normal things. You have ice attack, does ice. You have ice attack. This one is like Najah's fire walk, but ice walk, so you run around with a little ice road. You have cold snap, AoE forward freeze. She is just this game's version of Frost. And then you have an AoE blizzard, right? You pop that and it just does AoE. It's like Frost's AoE blizzard. So overall, I don't think she's like the worst or anything. I just think she's decent enough, sitting in at probably B or C tier. She's better for defense missions and missions where you want to freeze people, but I don't love her personally. So let me know what you think about her. I'd still just put her in like B to C tier. So she's still pretty good, but not my favorite. Next up we have is Ajax. Ajax is a tank-based character, uses a lot of shields and some buffs like that. Passive skill, void energy. It's pretty much cooldown decrease and whatnot, right? First ability is just a pretty good void shield. It's a void shield, like what are you gonna do? Throw a barrier in front of you and that's all it does. Second ability is a large AoE damage stun. I think it's shield. Yeah, it increases your shield, so you have a lot of regeneration type abilities because you're a tank. Your third ability is an AoE, and I think it gives you a little like buff, or yeah, it has like a little bit of a buff if it's enhanced, but it's just an AoE attack. It's nothing amazing. I don't think it buffs your direct damage or anything, so yeah. Then you have your fourth ability, which does actually buff your damage, so it's a good idea to use this ability and then shoot out the enemies. Either way though, you are a very tanky defensive frame, or Descendant, and I'd say Ajax is probably like A to B tier if you like playing him. He's probably very casually A tier though, because you can just be defensive and kill a bunch of enemies very easily. So he's good for early game. He's like Rhino, I would say. Next up we have Bunny. So Bunny is essentially this game's version of Volt. She is Electric Lady, Volt mixed with Gauss. Your passive is essentially always stay running, same as Gauss's. More damage, more electric. Your first ability is just electric. You do electric damage, does damage, good stuff. Your second ability is Speed of Light. It's move speed increase, and I think it like increases your electricity boost, so good stuff. Your third ability is AoE Lightning, and it just pulses and does damage. Also builds lightning, so very good. Your fourth ability is essentially Wisp's ult, which is a beam of damage, but in this case it's lightning damage, so that is Volt, Bunny, Gauss, nice mixture. I would say she's S tier, just the best Descendant for a lot of people, because you get a lot of damage, you get a lot of boosts, and it's very nice to use her overall. So you just run around shooting at the enemies and doing AoE damage. She clears out lower levels very easily, and then once you level her up and like get to higher levels, you'll have to build a little better, but she clears lower levels. Absolutely beautiful farming nuke, so 10 out of 10. Bunny, S tier. Next up we have Lepic. Think of him as like generic soldier boy. He has like grenades, some shields and buffs, right? Close call, you actually have 2 lives essentially, so that's cool. Very nice. Yeah, you can friend request people, add them to your group and everything. It has cross play and stuff on release to my knowledge, but I don't know if it'll have cross save on release. First ability is a grenade, does damage. Wow. Second ability is overclock, and this one's actually really good. You just do more damage and burn enemies, and that is very good. So it's nice. It's like a passive boost. Next up is another grenade, and this is more like Vauban's grenade, so it's just an AoE grenade. It's actually very nice. I do like it. And then your fourth ability is overkill. I think this just kind of makes you get a huge damage buff, and you shoot out a little, like, yeah, little ball. And then it just does damage, and you kill enemies. So use that continuously, I think, with your like third ability, and chain them well together, and you'll do a lot of damage. Lepic's pretty cool. I'd throw him in like solid B tier, pretty regular. If you don't like his kit, probably C tier, but a lot of the Descendants will probably sit around B or C tier. But still, Ajax A, Bunny S, Lepic, Viessa, probably around B to C tier. But still pretty good. Ultimate Lepic, no point in going over it. It's just Lepic with better stats, right? Same as in Warframe. So if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. Same tier. Jaber. Jaber is I think he's a good support mechanic with like turrets and everything. You have assault and medical turrets, so he's very good. I'd put him A tier. You can throw down your assault turret. It just straight up runs around and kills enemies. And this thing farms early game, so you can just be lazy as hell. It's like a Protea turret. Next up, you have a medical turret. Same with this one. It's very good support. You just stand around it and then you don't die. So yeah, it's actually really good. Would recommend. You have a multi-purpose gun. I don't care that much about this gun, but I think it's mainly made to upgrade your turrets and heal yourself, or like heal other things, not yourself, turrets. So it's only to buff your turrets. I think it's kind of annoying having to do this, but having stronger turrets is good. And your guns also like run out of ammo, so then you'd use your turrets to give them ammo again, so cool. Then your fourth one is just pretty much call everything back, and I think everything explodes and does damage, so yeah, not bad. When your turrets stop shooting or stop healing and you don't have any more bullets for your third ability, just blow them up and then throw them back down. He's a pretty cool Descendant. You might throw him more in B tier, but I think he's A tier just because he's cool to just chill. Use turrets to kill everything. Lazy frame. Descendant, sorry. Next up, we have Fria. So she is this game's version of Sharon. She is the toxic. Ooh, yeah, you poison enemies when you hit them. Sick. Okay, your first ability is just AoE toxic, right? You just do damage, just good damage, right? That's all you can really say. Your second one is a defensive one where, yeah, you add defenses and poison enemies when they hit you. So can't be mad at that. It's good. Next up, we have another poison one. This one just throws on the ground, little toxic puddle. And again, you poison and kill enemies. Last but not least, more toxicity. You buff your guns to shoot toxin. It's actually really good. Long duration. It's good damage buff. I think she's very good. I would solidly throw her, for me, in like A tier, just because she sets up a good perimeter of damage, so you can choke point like one area. Enemies will run through it and you'll just kill the shit out of them while you shoot at them with your like poison gun if you need to. So she's actually really good. Most of the characters are pretty good, but you probably need more time with her. I really like her though. I'll throw her in A tier. Next up we have is Glay. Glay is a blood character. So she has, I think she has normal mode and then she has buffed mode. So you either regen health or you do more damage and don't regen health, right? So your first one is either regular mode or frenzied mode. When you go frenzy, you just do more damage. Glay is really good. I'd put her S or A tier as well, just to let you know. Your second one, siphon, well, no. Pretty much steal a bunch of life and then you're good to go. Frenzied, you do way more damage, but you use up life. So yeah. Your third ability is sprint, running, move speed, right? Good buffs. And then if you are buffed up, maximize recovery, it is even better. And then your fourth ability is, I think the one I think is worse for her. You shoot bullets of life. Yeah, I don't really care for this one that much, like at all. Just not a huge fan. Not a huge fan. But either way, she is a very good Descendant. I really like her, and she does good stuff. Okay, very good stuff. Next up we have Viessa. I'll just go with Ultimate Viessa since she's over here already, and naturally like she's the same as regular Viessa. Wait, where is Viessa? Yeah, we already talked about her. She's just like light ice. I was mixing her up with Sharon, so she's still good. Still like her. Next up, we have Sharon. I don't think I like her at all. Her first one's just like an electric slash in front of her. Not bad, not amazing, but could have better AoE. Her second one is camouflage. So you just hide from enemies, but the second you use it and shoot at enemies, it kind of goes away, and it's not a long cooldown or a long duration, so I don't know. Don't love it a ton. Your shock nuts is actually decent enough to stun people a bit, but it's not amazing, and her kit just seems the weakest out of most. Your fourth ability is your best one, and it's like the only one that I actually kind of like on her. It just targets the enemies and throws your knives at them, your electric knives. I do think Sharon's actually one of the worst Descendants right now. She just doesn't seem good. So I would put her as like F tier. She's legitimately just the worst one I can think of right now. I don't like playing her. Her kit seems weaker than everybody else's, and you have to use it more. Yeah, I just don't like it a ton. Doesn't buff, just does a little bit of electricity damage, minor stuns, and minor damage. Yeah, I don't like her. Sorry, but let me know what y'all think about her. Judge her, judge her. Next up, we have Blair. This is this game's version of Ember. He is Fire Mage. It's actually really cool. You get good crit zone increase for your flames. Awesome, awesome. So burn people and crit zones. Your first one lays up, you create a little flame zone, AoE, fire, damage, buffs, good. Second one, extinguish. You retrieve your flame zones, and you buff yourself and get yourself mana, so it's actually really nice. Would recommend. Your third one is burn. It's just a flamethrower. It's also good, but maybe not the best sometimes, depending on what damage you're at, what levels, everything like that. But it is pretty good, and it like all still burns and does pitmaster stuff. And then your last one, deadly cuisine, nuke. This is your, you know, world on fire. This is your AoE nuke. This is the meteor. Building things with range and damage, honestly, I can see it going really well. So I like Blair. I'd put Blair as like B to A tier. If you want more of a fire mage, probably A tier, but he's probably B tier because he works the same as other Descendants like Fria and Viessa. Very similar type of kits, but different elements, you know. Either way, Blair's pretty good. Next up, we have Valby. She is a water CC, kind of like Urelli. So all of the elemental ones kind of work the same. She kind of works the same as Blair, kind of works the same as Viessa, kind of works the same as Fria, you know? AoE, element of water. Your first one, you throw down element of water, do damage, and it's chill and electric resist. Cool. Your second one, plop plop. This one's weird too. You hit enemies with water again, and again it has the AoE water effect, so yeah. Next up, you have Waterway. You just yeet yourself forward doing water damage. Again, just AoE, but damage will be higher. It'll be good for clearing lower levels and then fall off at higher levels. And then your last one is an AoE nuke. A lot of damage because it's a cannon, and it works the same as Urelli. So a little AoE cannon damage. Pretty good. Pretty good. I like Valby. But I think she's still like B tier. A tier if you like her, but like probably B tier. Maybe even C tier. Yeah. Yeah, she does work well with like electric characters because of like electric resist decrease amount. That's her laundry, so that's why you'd want to pair her with Bunny. So she's a good combo to make Bunny stronger because water is laundry, chill resist decrease, and electric resist decrease. So Bunny and Viessa work well with her, right? But it's not like it matters because you'll just nuke everything pretty easily half the time anyways. Last but not least, probably not the best, is Kyle. He's a magnetic tank. Good shield recovery. Think of it like Hildren. I actually do like him. I think he's pretty good. I just haven't had enough time to play him, but good shield recovery, max shield, stuff like that. First ability, kinetic force, hit enemies, good buffs. Defense plus, right? Max shield, awesome. So, yeah, good. Your second one is a little barrier, similar to Ajax. Yeah, it recovers your buffs, like gives you magnetic force, take damage on it, and then you're good to go. I don't love it, but hey, it is what it is, because you have to stand there. You have magnetic spurt, which is just buffs, right? Damage, additional damage, damage range, max expendable range, ally shield recovery amount. So take damage, and then you'll push it back with a little AoE, right? Boom. And then last but not least is your super conductivity thrusters. You can use this as like a movement ability. It feels a little weird to use it at first, but you essentially Iron Man yourself forward, hit the ground, and do some AoE damage, build up your magnetic damage more. Well, I should say use up your magnetic, and then throw it out. I'd say Kyle's like solid B, maybe even C tier. I need more time to play with him, but I don't like him over some of the other tank frames. But he is good shield regen, so good support, probably, yeah, probably B tier. Again, out of everyone, I'd still say like really good frames. Descendant, sorry, Bunny, one of the better ones. Fria, I like her for poison, but she works the same as most of the other elemental ones, so yeah. Glay is also really good, so Glay and Bunny I'd probably say are my top tiers at like S and A tier. Because really good damage, really good regen, etc. and so forth. And then from there, you can go for anyone else if you want CC. But I like Blair for just casually burning everything, as well as Fria. It's just a lot of the elemental ones like Fria, Blair, fire, ice, water, electric, right? It kind of works the same. Either way, those are all of the First Descendant characters that'll be here on launch. Let me know what you think, and let me know how you'd rate all the characters on your own tier list. So, yeah, cheers. Thank you for watching, subbing, liking. If you ever want to support the channel, check out all the socials, Twitch, or you can use Epic Games creator code Pupsker if you ever buy anything on the Epic Games Store. First Descendant, Warframe, Fortnite, anything always helps. Grab free games as well. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.